Hey, what's up, everybody? We are live for another episode of Let's Argue. We have a very interesting topic today. For some reason, I'm having a little technical difficulty, so I couldn't bring the video on. I'm gonna try it again at some point during the show. And I also was supposed to have a guest guy I met and we were going to collab, but I don't know if he's going to be able to make it. So hopefully he tunes in from either YouTube or Facebook. And speaking of YouTube or Facebook, if you are live, go ahead and if you're tuning in from either Facebook or YouTube, go ahead and type I'm outside, let's argue. Now I'm outside, let's argue. So today's topic is are women the table? Should they be expected to bring anything to the table? There was a video one of my sisters sent me, and she, because sometimes I ask them to send me, topics that I think will be interesting, that'll spark some very robust conversation, some interesting conversation. Hey Shay, thanks for tuning in. And she sent me this video, and I'm gonna try to bring the video on screen one more time. Give me 1 second. Let me try to bring the video on. See if it'll work. Nope. Yeah, it's not letting me, for some reason, not letting me add the video. But anyway, so, oh, thank you. I'm glad you enjoy it. Thank you. We enjoy having you. We appreciate you. So in the video, I felt like mentally he just wasn't on her level, so he really couldn't talk to her. I felt kind of bad. Hey sis, what's going on? I felt kind of bad for him mentally. He just wasn't on her level. Like even the conversation, like him engaging her, it was just bad. Seriously, it was like she was talking to a third grader. But in the video, she talks about I guess he was talking about 50-50, and she was saying 50-50 is a delusion, that there is no such thing as 50-50. On that point, I do agree with her. I don't believe that a relationship or a marriage is 50-50. I believe you need to bring 100% of yourself to the table. Each person does. Nobody wants 50% of anything. Everybody wants 100, right? Nobody wants 50% of a person. Nobody want to do that, right? You want 100% of the person. That being said, she went on to talk about that. She okay. Let me see. But she made the comment. I can probably play the video on my phone, but she said that women are the table. And she said that women are the table, and that for the mere fact that I can have your children, and I'm taking care of everything in the house, you should want to take care of me. So the guy was like, no, if something goes wrong, then I want we should be going half or whatever. And I'm kind of paraphrasing here. I'm kind of jumping around. I think I'm gonna just I got the video on my phone, so how about I just play that and we can kind of go from there. Let's see. But yeah, so she was it was a really good.
What do you bring to the table? Let me have this. Men, y'all probably really just don't know exactly what a woman brings. Get your pens and paper. Right. Let's talk about the purpose of a table. I'm talking to you, love, with all the beautiful hair. What do you need a table for? Right. You sit down and eat at it, right? You gather at this table. Let's say I'm your woman, hypothetically. Everyone sitting at this table, either one came in me or came out of me. We can agree on that? Yeah. I'm the purpose for even having the table. Everybody at this table is nurtured, cared for, looked after by me. If I deem you worthy enough to even extend your legacy, which means give you children, consider that an honor and a privilege, because parts of me have to die to give you life. There are things in my body that will never be the same after bearing children for you. And you're telling me the least, at the very least, you don't want to take care of me? Nah, I can't. All right, cool. All right. Because without
that mean it could be no family. A family is a family. Like, if you rent it, you need 3 times the rent. It's a teamwork thing. Because if I lack of, you're supposed to be able to, all right, well, here, this and that. If I'm struggling, all right, if I can't get it, I'm going to need you to get that. It's nothing wrong with that. Like, so
it's something wrong with that, baby. It's something. In order for any family to sustain, there has to be balance. You're talking about this 50-50 stuff as if it really exists. If I have to get out of my bed to work 8 hours, 8, 9, 10, 12 hours, which I do right now, and then I have to still come home and I still have to tend to the children. I have to take care of the home. I have to give you sex. I have to stroke your ego, and I have to restore you from all that you've been through throughout the day. What am I left with for myself? You would never be able to outwork a good woman. You should find a capable woman, but you do not want a working woman. Like when the chips are down, yes, baby, I am capable of rolling up my sleeves and doing what we got to do to get back on our feet. With the notion that once you are stable, you are going to relieve me of that duty because it is not my job. But if I got to get out of my bed and go work for a man, guess what I'm doing? I'm excuse my language, I'm fucking with 2 men. Because I have to get out of my bed and go appease one at work, do what he tells me to do, follow his orders, get whatever. And then you want me to come home and then appease you? Oh, and then take care of the kids? Oh, then cook and clean? Oh, then you want some sex? Oh my God. You want all that on me for the sake of making it easier on you? And saying, yo, to roll back my sleeves and work 2 jobs, which I'm doing right now. What you think I'm expect you to do? You better be willing to work 4. You better be willing to take off your shirt. If I roll up a sleeve, you better be willing to take off your shirt for me.
All right, so let's address a couple things here. There were a lot of things that the sister said that I really do agree with. I do believe that if a woman wants to be a stay-at-home wife, a stay-at-home mom, a stay-at-home mother, I want to first, before I make my comment, I'm going to suggest, I'm going to see if I can find a link. It's a show that I did speaking to a young lady, and it was called, the title of the show is called How to Be a Wife. But they strategically planned out for he wanted his wife to stay home. She wanted to stay at home. She said she came from a family of wives who were stay-at-home wives. But I think in this day and age, when I say it's not really realistic, I'm not saying it can't happen. I don't think it's realistic. I think the average couple, it takes two incomes to run a house. Especially if you want to live the kind of life that you want to live. Now, again, I'm not saying that it's not possible. But I believe strategically you have, see, my thing is, if we're living off of one income, and like, say if we living off of one income and then we're not doing no traveling, we're not doing anything, no home improvements, none of that stuff, then you okay with sitting at home because for the sake of sitting at home, because to say that you're a stay-at-home wife or mother. Like, I think that comes with certain expectations. But again, she did make a lot of valid points. Mentally, I just think the brother just wasn't on her level. Just listening to him talk, he wasn't able to hold his own with her. But like I said, she did make a lot of valid points. I just don't think realistically. And then the thing that also bothers me, one of the things that bothered me about what she said that I don't agree with, the premise that the mere fact that you're a woman and that you're able to have a baby, or that because you have, and I don't want to say anything too derogatory, but just for the mere fact that you're a woman and you're able to have a baby, automatically just assumes that I should be taking care of you. Like, I just think that needs to be a conversation that needs to be had. Okay, Kelly, I'll play the video. Play it again.
This men, y'all probably really just don't know exactly what a woman brings. Get your pens and paper. Let's talk about the purpose of a table. I'm talking to you, love, with all the beautiful hair.
You said what you need a table for?
Right.
Like,
you sit down and eat at it, right? You have you gather at this table. Let's say I'm your woman, hypothetically. Everyone sitting at this table, either one came in me or came out of me. We can agree on that?
Yeah.
I'm the purpose for even having the table. Everybody at this table is nurtured, cared for, looked after by me. If I deem you worthy enough to even extend your legacy, which means give you children, consider that an honor and a privilege, because parts of me have to die to give you life. There are things in my body that will never be the same after bearing children for you. And you're telling me the least, at the very least, you don't want to take care of me?
Nah, I can't.
All right, cool. All right.
Because without me, it could be no family. A family is a family. Like, if you rent it, you need 3 times the rent. It's a teamwork thing. Because if I lack of, you're supposed to be able to, all right, but here, this and that. If I'm struggling, all right, if I can't get it, all right, I'm going to need you to get that. It's nothing wrong with that. So
it's something wrong with that, baby. It's something. In order for any family to sustain, there has to be balance. You're talking about this 50-50 stuff as if it really exists. If I have to get out of my bed to work 8 hours, 8, 9, 10, 12 hours, which I do right now, and then I have to still come home and I still have to tend to the children. I have to take care of the home. I have to give you sex. I have to stroke your ego, and I have to restore you from all that you've been through throughout the day. What am I left with for myself? You would never be able to outwork a good woman. You should find a capable woman, but you do not want a working woman. When the chips are down, yes, baby, I am capable of rolling up my sleeves and doing what we got to do to get back on our feet, with the notion that once you are stable, you are going to relieve me of that duty, because it is not my job. But if I got to get out of my bed and go work for a man, guess what I'm doing? I'm excuse my language, I'm fucking with 2 men, because I have to get out of my bed and go appease one at work, do what he tells me to do, follow his orders, get whatever. And then you want me to come home and then appease you? Oh, and then take care of the kids? Oh, then cook and clean? Oh, then you want some sex? Oh my God. You want all that on me for the sake of making it easier on you? If I'm willing to roll back my sleeves and work 2 jobs, which I'm doing right now, what you think I'm expect you to do? You better be willing to work 4. You better be willing to take off your shirt. If I roll up a sleeve, you better be willing to take off your shirt for me.
So again, like I said, she really made some really good valid points, and I just don't think mentally he couldn't hold his own with her. Just listening to him talk, I'm like, oh bro, we need somebody else to be having this conversation with her. But anyway, I don't know. There's a few things that I definitely agree with the sister about, but I think that needs to be a conversation that needs to be had up front. If you expect to be a stay-at-home wife or stay-at-home mom, we need to talk about that. You know what I'm saying? Because right now it takes 2 incomes to run a house, especially with the notion, unless I have a job that, now it's one thing if I got a job paying me over 6 figures, yeah, but for sure, and we still able to maintain a lifestyle that we're both comfortable with, by all means, I have no problem. But of course, that is gonna come with certain expectations. I don't expect to come home and I come home if I'm doing everything and you sitting on the couch eating bonbons all day, or you know what I'm saying, just you running out going to the mall, or you at you at the mall and getting every time I look up, you getting you're getting a manicure or pedicure, you're spending money. Like, no, I'm just that's not gonna happen. No, we not doing that. Let's see. What Kelly say? Kelly says, sounds like they should have had a conversation, understanding before having children, getting married. I also think all those things she named, the husband should also be doing. Pleasing her, taking care of the kids, balance, and making sure we both happy, etc. The only thing I can agree with is everyone at the table either came in. Absolutely, Kelly. That is one of the things I agree with her. There are some other things I agree with her on. I agree with her. Everybody at the table either came in her or came out of her, and she's nurturing. But I don't think here's my thing, and I agree. The man should, the husband or man should be helping with some of those activities, especially whether she's working or not. You know what I'm saying? I think that it's nothing wrong with chipping in on some of those activities. But if you are not working and that is your expectation, then there's no reason I should come home to the house not being clean, my clothes not being washed. That should not be food on the table. I shouldn't have to come home and should not be a hot meal. But I believe there's a certain expectation that comes with a kept woman. But I do want to say this. If you haven't watched my video on Black Marriage Chronicle called How to Be a Wife, I highly suggest that you go to my channel and look at that video. And this young lady walks through how her and her husband set it up so that she could be a stay-at-home wife, a stay-at-home mom. They had the conversation ahead of time. This is what she wanted. This is what he wanted. And she had made a very poignant statement. She said the moment they decided to do that and she started to stay at home, his income increased exponentially. Like it almost tripled. And she attributed that to because with her being able to stay at home and then go with him on business trips and stuff like that, she felt like her speaking highly of her husband increased his what's the word I'm looking for? Increased his financial statement, for lack of a better term, I guess, but his earning income. It increased him because she spoke highly of him to his colleagues, and that says something, that it's I think statistically, men who are married are more likely to get a promotion, are more likely to get a raise. So she felt like that. But I do want to suggest, if you haven't, go to my channel. It's called Black Marriage Chronicles, and search for a video that's says how to be a wife, and you will hear in this video, this hour-long interview I did with this young lady, where she talks about she went to something called the wife school. And I'm not going to go off into a tangent with all this, but I just want to this kind of preface the conversation that we're having here, kind of set the table for what we're talking about here. But go and take a look at that video. I believe there is a certain expectation for a woman who wishes to stay home, to be a stay-at-home wife, a stay-at-home mom. There are certain expectation that comes with that. Like Kelly said, that conversation definitely need to be had up front about what the expectation is if one of you are going to stay home. Well, the woman is going to stay home, because we all know no one woman is going to be sitting there taking care of a man who's sitting at home all day collecting a check from unemployment or the government, and he at home. Every time you come home, he's sitting on your couch or out with your car. We know how that stereotype go, and playing video games all day, right? So, and I think that as men, we have certain expectations of our women, of our wives as well. If you're going to stay at home, then there's certain expectations that need to happen. The other thing I agree with her on about, besides they either came in her or out of her, is that that she said that I need to replenish you. Y'all can still do that. You can replenish each other. Even if you're both working, and then that's provided with saying that because she mentioned kids, that the kids are young. What about if there are no kids? Should you still be a stay-at-home wife, a stay-at-home mom? Should you still not go to work? Then what happens? What if there are no children, and what if you can't have kids, or he can't have kids or give you kids? Then what? Should you still be the stay-at-home wife, the stay-at-home mom? So I think looking at it in the context in which it was given to us, then I get where she's coming from. But we know that's not necessarily how life works. We get all kind of caveats, all kind of different shades of gray, and everything is not black and white. Then you staying at home, like let's make it make sense. There's nowhere in the world I would want to be with any woman who would like to see me just for the sake of you being able to stay at home and be a stay-at-home wife, a stay-at-home mom. I don't even have money to get my hair cut. Just because I'm paying everything, I'm taking care of the entire household, and then I still got to give you some money to put in your pocket to do the things that you want to do. Like the biggest thing for me with some of the stuff with one of the things she said was the notion that, because I felt like sex was the premise of everything, and if that's the premise of everything, we can both get that anywhere. You know what I'm saying? Like, why is that the premise of the basis of her? Why is sex the basis of her trying to support her argument? So if you take sex out of the equation, then what? You know what I'm saying? And we know we can't take sex out of the equation because it's a relationship. You know, it's a marriage. So we can't take sex out of the equation. But I just don't like I push back on the notion where women just automatically assume that what they bring to the table is so much more valuable than what a man brings to the table. Why do we got to even argue about that? You know what I'm saying? As long as we're both bringing something to the table that's going to add value to your life, and then what you're doing is going to add value to my life, why we can't deal there? Why has it got to be that what you're doing is so much more valuable than what I'm doing? Or what you're contributing is so much more valuable than what I'm contributing? And again, I will say that yes, I said this the last show we had. I can't remember what we were talking about, but when a man loves a woman the right way, and she knows who she is, knows her self-worth, and is aware, there is nothing that she will not do for him. Yes, she will go get a job and bring something to the table and help out to make sure that ends are doing more than just fucking meeting. You feel what I'm saying? Like I truly believe that when a man loves a woman the right way, who's secure in who she is, knows her self-worth, there is nothing that she will not do for him. I truly believe that. But that doesn't make your value in the relationship any more or less than my own, or my contribution any more or less than my own. But I want to hear your thoughts. I want y'all to give me your thoughts on the topic. If anybody want me to play the video again, please let me know. I'll go ahead and play it again. But it's let's see. Shay said the fact that her tone was a little condescending. Yeah, it was, Shay. Her tone was a little bit condescending. It absolutely was. But there was some, again, not totally dismissing everything that she said. There were some things she really made some good points on. Okay. Dee Dee says she lost. Okay, I'll play the video again, sis. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna cue it up. I'm mad that I can't get it on the screen.
And yo, what do you bring to the table? Let me have this. Men, y'all probably really just don't know exactly what a woman brings. Get your pens and paper. Let's talk about the purpose of the table. I'm talking to you, love, with all the beautiful hair.
You said what do you need a table for?
Right.
Like,
you sit down and eat at it, right? You gather at this table. Let's say I'm your woman, hypothetically. Everyone sitting at this table, either one came in me or came out of me. We can agree on that?
Yeah.
I'm the purpose for even having the table. Everybody at this table is nurtured, cared for, looked after by me. If I deem you worthy enough to even extend your legacy, which means give you children, consider that an honor and a privilege, because parts of me have to die to give you life. There are things in my body that will never be the same after bearing children for you. And you're telling me at the very least, you don't want to take care of me?
Nah, I can't.
All right, cool. All right.
Because without me, it could be no family. A family is a family. Like, house, if you rent it, you need 3 times the rent. It's a teamwork thing. Because if I lack of, you're supposed to be able to, all right, well, here, this and that. If I'm struggling, all right, if I can't get it, all right, I'm going to need you to get that. It's nothing wrong with that. So,
it's something wrong with that, baby. It's
Okay, so I just had to stop it right there. Like I said, I just feel like mentally he was a total mismatch for her. Like he couldn't hold it. He couldn't hold her cup. Like seriously, he was a total mismatch for her. Like a family is a family, and this and that. Like he couldn't even find his words. I'm praying for the brother. I just felt like there was someone. There should have been someone there having a conversation with her that could have held his own. He just wasn't able to do it at all. Like it was a total mismatch. But I'll finish playing the clip so you guys can finish hearing it.
So in order for any family to sustain, there has to be balance. You're talking about this 50-50 stuff as if it really exists. If I have to get out of my bed to work 8 hours, 8, 9, 10, 12 hours, which I do right now, and then I have to still come home and I still have to tend to the children. I have to take care of the home. I have to give you sex. I have to stroke your ego, and I have to restore you from all that you've been through throughout the day. What am I left with for myself? You would never be able to outwork a good woman. You should find a capable woman, but you do not want a working woman. Like when the chips are down, yes, baby, I am capable of rolling up my sleeves and doing what we got to do to get back on our feet. With the notion that once you are stable, you are going to relieve me of that duty because it is not my job. But if I got to get out of my bed and go work for a man, guess what I'm doing? Guess what I'm doing? I'm excuse my language, I'm fucking with 2 men because I have to get out of my bed and go appease one at work, do what he tells me to do, follow his orders, get whatever. And then you want me to come home and then appease you? Oh, and then take care of the kids? Oh, then cook and clean? Oh, then you want some sex? Oh my God. You want all that on me for the sake of making it easier on you? If I'm willing to roll back my sleeves and work 2 jobs, which I'm doing right now, what you think I'm expect you to do? You better be willing to work 4. You better be willing to take off your shirt. If I roll up a sleeve, you better be willing to take off your shirt for me.
And you know what? Like I said, what she said all sound good in theory. But here's my question to the ladies on here. How many would love to be a stay-at-home wife or stay-at-home mom? Like a stay-at-home girlfriend. Like you don't have to do anything. You can just stay at home. Like who wants to do that? Send her back to the streets, cuz. But who wants to do that? I think, see, and what like I said, there were a few things that she said that I did agree with. There was a few things that she didn't. I think the conversation that she was having with the brother, he just wasn't prepared mentally to go there with her. He couldn't match her energy. So I'm kind of mad that he was having that conversation with her because he was missing it for real. His conversation was trash. He couldn't do it. So then my thing is that door, and I don't think she thought about it, that door swings both ways. So what about a working man? Because there are a lot of women who have working men and that's all they do is work, but they got a husband, but they got a working husband because that's all he does is work. There's no time for play. There's no time for pleasure, nothing. So when he gets home after working all those hours to make sure that you have everything that you need taken care of you, he just wants to go to sleep. There's no date nights, but you want him to make sure all that stuff is planned out and he still has to do all that. And that's why I think it needs to be, Kelly's mentioned it earlier, there needs to be some balance. She did say that balance, but not the kind of balance that she was referring to. That I believe that when you're in a marriage, a relationship, because we both want to feel desired, we both want to feel wanted, the dating needs to come from both people. Because men we still want to feel like we're needed and we're wanted. So the dating portion of it still needs to come. Like it's nothing wrong with a woman saying, hey, especially if you're in a committed relationship, hey, let's go out. I want to go out. I want to go out on a date. You know what I'm saying? Like it, for the most part, 95 to 99% of the time, we're going to take care of that part. But every now and then, yes, we want y'all to put it together. Set up a date night for us. Take care of everything. Absolutely. And see, Kelly said there were only two things I agree with that she said: the whole come in and come out of her. And once you have kids, a woman's body is never the same. Everything else was trash. Okay. Well, we can agree to disagree on that. I agree with you on that as well, Kelly. I'm not a woman, so I don't know the changes that y'all body goes through. But my thing is, if she said that if you are a stay-at-home mother or stay-at-home wife, yeah, should you be willing to go and work hard to take care of your family? Absolutely. I think most men think that way. You want to work hard to take care of a woman. But if you're working your fingers to the bone to provide for your family and then you have nothing left to come home, because there are so many women who are at home because they have working husbands and they are left unsatisfied emotionally, physically, because they have this man that just for the sake of saying, oh, I ain't got to work. But your man is dog tired. And that's one of the reasons why women are outliving men, because we're stressed. We're stressed. Like, and again, I think it just needs to be a team effort. Let's see. Kelly said then she would complain he not taking her out, paying her attention, because he come home tired and want to get. Yeah, exactly, Kelly. And that's what I said. I don't think she had a pretty good point, but I don't think she gave it a lot. I don't think she gave it in-depth thought, because if you have a working man, a busy man, then there may not be that time for play, especially if you want him to just carry the load all by himself. Just for the sake for you to be able to say, oh, I ain't got to work. I'm staying at home taking care of the kids. There's no romance. And I know a couple wives that are like that. I know some people personally that are in relationships like that. There's no romance. There's no time for, you know what I'm saying? Like the things women still want. They want to feel a desire. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's none of that. If he's always working because you want to, for the mere fact, you just want to be able to say, oh, I'm a stay-at-home wife. I'm a stay-at-home mom. And then the other point, if there's young kids involved and we've already had the conversation, I want you to stay at home to take care of our kids. I get it. And then some men got to get their ego out the way. If you have a woman that's saying, hey, I want to work to make things, to increase to put some more zeros behind in our bank account, behind those numbers in our bank account. But you one of them old school men, you don't want her to work. Like, bro, put your ego to the side. You working your fingers to the bone and you're not getting advancement. Say things are just not coming fast enough, but your woman is willing to roll up her sleeves and get in there and get her hands dirty to improve y'all financial situation, but you don't want, because you're old school, you don't want her to work, bro. Miss me with that. Seriously, if she's willing to get in there and do it. Now, of course, when your situation get better and you say, hey, babe, you don't have to do X, Y, and Z no more. Absolutely. And then what about the situation? What about if y'all get together? What if y'all get together and your income is more than his? Because you want to be a stay-at-home mom? Or let me go back. Let's just say I want you to be a stay-at-home wife or stay-at-home mom. Should you now lose your 6-figure income just to satisfy my ego? Or let's flip that. Are you going to give up your 6-figure income to work on my 5-digit income in order to my 5-figure income, 6-figure, 5-figure income, just so you can be a stay-at-home mom or wife? No, me too. And I help take the stress off my man, but I also like to have my own anyway. And that's the thing that I think that a lot of modern women, they want their own. Like, and don't get me wrong, my wife has mentioned to me something called the soft life. I don't know if y'all heard it, the soft life. And I get it. Like, I think there are women out here who want to be taken care of. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, but you need to be realistic about the situation. What does that look like? What is the expectation? If that's what you want, what are you willing to do to achieve that, to have that? And again, I want to point to, If you haven't already done so, go to my YouTube page, Black Marriage Chronicles. Look up this video, how to be a wife. And a woman, we talk about it for at least an hour where she details. She went to something called the wife school to learn how to be a wife so that she could stay home and be a stay-at-home wife, be a stay-at-home mom. But her and her husband both wanted that, and they worked to achieve that. When his income finally, what he was currently making, end up far out exceeding what she was making, when his income made what he was making, and then what she was making added to his income. I'm not saying that right, but when he started making what he was making plus what she was making, that's what I'm trying to get at. She was able to quit her job, and she stopped, and now she's a complete stay-at-home mom. But watch that video. There were some really interesting things she said in there about this thing called wife school to get her to be able to be this stay-at-home wife, this stay-at-home mom. Didi said, "Oh, okay, so I'm not staying home with them badass kids. Oh, I need my own. And in today's economy, it takes both people." And that's what I was saying earlier too, sis, that it takes two people to run a household. Like, if you want to travel, you want to live your life, you want to live life, you want to go on trips, take your family on trips, and you seriously, just because you want to be a stay-at-home wife or stay-at-home mom, you want your man to carry the full burden. Just so you can say, I'm living this soft life, or I'm staying at home. Like, no, it takes two, like, to make it work. And again, if I hit a come up where I'm absolutely can cover everything where there's no problem, and you can, then fine. But I honestly believe that my wife, she say she'll be all right with it initially, but I think at some point she'll find herself bored and want to do something, because she's been working all her life. And I'm not saying that she probably want to cut back on it, or even with the notion in her head that I ain't got to do this if I don't want to. That would ease some of the stress of her life. You know what I'm saying? But I don't honestly think she would just walk away from her job. She makes too much money. I don't think she would walk away from her job and just be like, okay, I'm done. So yeah, but a conversation most certainly needs to be had. And like Didi said, it takes two. And then Kelly says, and consideration about what happens if the brother leave or pass away. There you go. But she speaks about that in the Black Marriage Chronicle video that we did, podcast that I did about a month ago. It's called How to Be a Wife, or Wife School, I think it's called. But anyway, she goes through. They teach them in wife school there's provisions in the event that your husband passes away. So they talk about that. But I really encourage you, ladies and men, go and check it out, because it's not just geared towards women learning how to be a wife. It's also geared towards men learning how to be husbands as well. So let's see. Stay says she better make sure she has a hell of a life insurance policy. Facts. Okay, Kelly says, and some men that's making all the money tend to talk slightly different that when they're the ones bringing in the coins. I can't handle that. Okay, yeah, and that's the other thing. That is the other thing. If you but I don't think women who want to have this soft life or want to be this stay-at-home wife or stay-at-home mom take that into consideration. And I'm not saying that's right. That because there are some men who taking care of everything, and I know a couple, and actually the couple that I'm telling you to go and watch the video where the wife went to something called wife school. Beautiful couple. Don't see where and she says that he's never made her feel any less than for being a stay-at-home mom, because he's given her. I think she said he was giving her an allowance, But she does have a side hustle. So she writes books. And I want to say she does some form of teaching as well. But she did quit her job where she was making pretty decent money, because she really desired to be a stay-at-home wife and stay-at-home mom. Kelly says, if you plan it, I'm sure that's covered. But I was talking about loudmouth on the video. Oh, right, exactly. Yeah, so it's just I just think that that is a conversation that needs to be had up front, and the expectation that you think that for the mirror and here, okay, here's the thing. Here's the other thing. Like I felt like she was using sex in the situation because like okay, we're both bringing that to the table. So the only thing that you got over me as far as the sex is concerned is that you can have a baby, and that's a big thing that you have over me. Absolutely. And again, I'm not taking any. I'm not trying to mitigate that. But what if you cannot have kids? Then what? Or what if we are in a relationship where we've already had our kids and nobody's looking to have any more? Then what? Say you get married later in life. You already had your children. You're not looking to bear any more kids. Then what? Like that, like miss me with the whole you coming in me and coming out of me and all that other stuff. Like, come on, take sex out of the equation. What can we do that is gonna make your load lighter, gonna make my load lighter, where we're gonna have a nice balanced life? My wife already said she feel like I'm, but I'm always trying to do things to better our lives. You know what I'm saying? As a couple. So I keep going, but I make time and room for dating, romance, all of that stuff. Like I make time for that. I'm intentional with that. At least I try to be. I don't know what I'm saying. I always hit the ball out of the park, but I make time for that. So but if you got a man that is working his fingers to the bone every day, day in and day out, then you can pretty much hang up date night, flirting, all of that stuff that you still desire that you're not going to get anymore because you're married. And then there are a lot of women who are, hey, they got them pieces on the side because they got a man that is working. And now I'm going to even lie. Listen, I'm about to move some furniture. If I'm out here working my fingers to the bone and I find out you out here messing around and I'm taking care of you, but we hear about it every day. Every day. Women, and I hate to bring this up because I'm a trainer, but women messing around with their trainers. Their husbands at work all day, taking care of everything, paying for the trainer, and she messing around with the trainer. Or the damn UPS man, or the Amazon delivery driver. Like, seriously? Come on. Come on, help me out. Sorry, y'all, I got this towel here. I'm trying not to get none of this. I got a new tattoo, and I was trying not to get none of the moisturizer that I've been putting on the tattoo to keep it from getting dry on my pants. What you say? Not moving furniture? Yeah, Kelly. We gonna move some furniture. Like seriously. So it has to be. She did say it needs to be balanced, and there does need to be some balance. A conversation needs to be had. There shouldn't just be expectations that you putting on me because you want to live this traditional lifestyle. Like I said, I highly encourage you to go and take a look at the video, "How to Be a Wife," where this young lady talks about she attended wife school. I didn't know there was no such thing, so I interviewed her and her husband, and they talked about that. And I was like, oh, wow. And so I ended up following up with her a few months later, and we talked about the wife school. There is a such thing that's out there. Let's see. Dee says, what about the husband messing around? Sweetie, I'm working late, but fucking his assistant or some shit. Sis, I am not trying to absolve men from any of their responsibilities in this mess. You're absolutely right. There are situations where men who say they are working all night, but hey, ladies, if you're counting the dollars, if the hours is the money and the hours not matching up, we gotta have a conversation. So I get what you're saying, sis. True, absolutely, for sure. Right. Okay. Kelly says, then she don't have to worry about giving him sex because he's straight. Exactly. Yep. So, but then, like we said, I think we're all pretty much on the same page. It takes a team. It takes a team. Nobody should be solely responsible for that, carrying the sole financial burden in a relationship just for the sake of somebody to say, oh, they can boast to their friends, oh, I'm a stay-at-home wife, I'm a stay-at-home mom. You know, it takes a teamwork, especially if you still want to get out and enjoy life, travel, you know, take your family on trips, do things, make household improvements and stuff like that. Like, and like I said, there are some husbands that that make that kind of money. You know, we already know and let's not get into the income disparity between the races. You know, we don't want to go there because we know proportionally white folks got us beat in that arena because they have been out earning us. They had a 400-year head start. So let's not we don't want to go there. But there are some black men that are earning some really good money. But who's really winning now? Sisters are doing their thing. They really are. I mean, women who are influencers on social media, YouTube, doing their thing, and they making stuff happen for themselves. And they're saying they're not able to find men. And the reason they say they're not able to find men because the men are intimidated by the fact they outpacing us in the arena of income. You know what I'm saying? So they're not able to find their black man, their black king. They're not able to find him, or they're not able to find him because he's intimidated by what she can do or what she's bringing to the table. Let's see. Kelly says, listen, he could be having breakfast, lunch, quickies, and assistant, and he still bring the same coins home. No, because it takes money to take care of more than one woman, Kelly. Come on now. Let's keep it a buck. Like, if you making so much money per year and because something's gonna lack. Trust me, something's gonna lack. Maybe that car note don't get paid on time that he was paying for you. Something is gonna lack. The money's not gonna add up, especially if he ain't got no raise. But now all of a sudden he's diverting some of the money, or say y'all got a shared account and money was going into there, but all of a sudden now his income may haven't increased, but all of a sudden some of that money is not going there anymore, and he come up with some lame excuse as to where that money is. Stacy says you have some women who care less if the husband is messing around as long as he is taking care of her financially, and this is true. This is true. You speak facts, my cousin. You speak facts. Let's see. Kelly says, Stacy, true, because I know some of them too. Absolutely. Yep. And Kelly says taking care and having sex is two different things. There is. I'm not disagreeing with you there. Having sex and taking care of someone is two different things. Absolutely. I am by no means confused by either of those two different dichotomies. Taking care of someone and having sex is two different things. But yeah, so it's just I think it's just a matter of I think it's a matter of preference. It sounds like most of the women that I'm talking to on here, that you ladies, you like to have your own. You don't necessarily want a man to take care of you in that sense. But here's my question for the women on here who don't want a man to take care of them in the sense that what she was talking about. Why not? What is your reasoning behind it? Is it because of how you were brought up? Is it the things that have been always told to you by your mothers, your grandmother? You don't depend on no man. What is the why behind that? Why don't you want a man to take care of you? So that is my question. Why don't you want a man? And you know what? We didn't get a chance to play anything from the game, so I'm gonna whip this out because we only got a couple minutes left, maybe 15 minutes left before we end our show. Again, I want to thank everybody, and I got a very interesting topic for next week. Y'all got to tune in next week. I'm gonna give y'all a little tidbit of what it's gonna be about before we close out today. All right. So, is it disrespectful for so we're doing again like we did last week. Naughty and nice. Is it disrespectful for a woman to laugh harder at her man's best friend's jokes than his? A, yes, period. B, no. If he gets upset, he's insecure. C, yes, especially if the friend is more attractive. D, no. but the friend needs to be checked for making his woman laugh so hard. I don't like none of these answers. Like I'm not. If my friend is silly and my woman or wife laughing, like he's silly, like I might be laughing too. Let me read it again. If a woman, is it disrespectful for a woman to laugh harder at her man's best friend's jokes than his? A, yes. Period. B, no. If he gets upset, he's insecure. C, yes, especially if the friend is more attractive. D, no, but the friend needs to be checked for making his friend's woman laugh so hard. I'm not liking any of these answers. Nah, I'm not liking any of these answers. But if I gotta choose, I'm gonna go with B. Exactly, cuz he might just be funnier. If it's funny, I'm laughing. I'm with you, Kel. If she funny, I'm laughing. Like, okay, oh well, like But if I had to choose an answer, I would go with B. No, if he gets upset, he's insecure. All right. Here's another one. What cheers you up most? A, food. B, funny memes. A, alone time. Or D, sex. And Didi, yeah, we know you laughing. What cheers you up most? A, food. B, funny memes. C, alone time. Or D, sex. I would have to go with D. That cheers me up the most. And then if I had to put them in order, it would be D, sex, A, food. And then I don't know, it's kind of like a tie between the funny memes and alone time. All right. Didi says A and D. Okay. Kelly says money, but I'll say D. And my sister says food cheers you up, sis. Okay. All right. Here's another one. Fill in the blank. You dream vacation. I'm sorry. Fill in the blank. Your dream vacation must have blank. A, water, pool, or beach, etc. B, Wi-Fi. C, food you never tried. Or D, public nudity. Fill in the blank. Your dream vacation must have A, water, pool, beach, etc. B, Wi-Fi. C, food you never tried. Or D, public nudity. Kelly says A. Right. I'm with you, Kels. It must have a water, pool, or beach. That is my dream vacation. Let's see. Didi says A. Okay, everybody, A. Let's see. Who else we got? Anybody else chiming in? Cousin Stacy says A and D. So you want pool and public nudity? Why am I not surprised? All right. Let's read another one. Okay. How would you reply to the following text? How would you reply to the following text? I know I messed up before, but I'll do anything for another chance. FOH. How would you reply to the following text? I know I messed up before, but I'll do anything for another chance. How would you reply? Left unread. You left it unread. Oh man, y'all are hilarious as usual. All right, how would you reply to the following text? I know I messed up before, but I'll do anything for another chance. Let's see here. And Didi said, go ahead. Oh man, y'all assuming that he cheated. Why I gotta be that? Cause you say FOH 2 times. Oh man, I love y'all. Y'all are hilarious. Okay, all right. So I think the consensus is it takes teamwork, right? to make a relationship work, especially in our community, in the Black community, right? Can we agree on that it just takes two incomes, and that I want to say what I'm getting, the general consensus from the women that are on here, that y'all don't want to be completely at the mercy of a man who takes care of you. Is that would that be an accurate statement? No one on here wants to be at the complete mercy of a man that is absolutely taking, no matter how good of a man he is. You don't want to be at the mercy of a man that is absolutely taking care of all your needs. He's giving you an allowance, taking care of everything that you don't have to do. You don't have to lift a finger. Yep. All right. Kelly says teamwork. Yep. Hashtag teamwork. Let's go with that, Kelly. If you want to agree with that, hashtag teamwork. Teamwork makes the dream work. That's right, Didi. Teamwork makes the dream work. Absolutely. No longer happy wife, happy life, happy house, happy spouse. Happy spouse, happy house. Definitely teamwork makes the dream work. I love it. I love it. It really does. I think it just, but if you're going to have that dynamic, then I think we all can agree. Then we just need to have a conversation, right? My sister says teamwork. Absolutely, says teamwork makes the dream work. I just think if that's going to be the dynamic, that you want to be a stay-at-home wife or stay-at-home mom, or there's probably some stay-at-home dads out there as well. Either way, we need to have that conversation up front. And how does that look? So again, I want to encourage you all, if you haven't already done so, go to my YouTube page. I'll actually repost a video as well, but it's called Wife School, where this woman details and talks about how she became a stay-at-home wife, a stay-at-home mom. But her and her husband had this conversation up front. They both knew going into it that that's what she wanted to do. That's still teamwork, because y'all had the conversation, and understanding is there. And the understanding is there, but don't come with any sideways mess. Absolutely. Yep. Absolutely. I totally agree. Kelly, I totally agree. You're right. They did have a conversation that did take teamwork, communication. But in this whole wife school, there were marriage contracts. There were marriage contracts. Like, and I think she gave an example one time where her husband wasn't living up to his portion of the contract, and they had to go back to the negotiating table. It was strange, but they made it work. And they are an absolute beautiful couple. He doesn't strike me as the kind of guy that would, and I know what y'all gonna say. Some seem like, all guys there's some guys out there that seem like that and be out here doing the most and be doing the most dirt. I get that, but this guy he just does not strike me as the kind of guy that would even dream of stepping out on his wife. Like, he really doesn't. They're a beautiful couple as well. Shout out to Sophia and oh my God, I can't remember his name. I know they're the Perrymans. God, I'm mad I can't remember his name. What is her husband's name? Dog, I'm sorry, his name slips my mind. But they're the Perrymans, and if you go, like I said, if you go to my YouTube page, you'll be able to see how they methodically went through getting her from having to go to work, punch a clock, to being a stay-at-home mom and a stay-at-home wife, which they both wanted. Reggie, there you go. Oh, what's up, Reg? Oh man, I feel so bad. I can't remember your name. What's up, Reg? Hey y'all, this is the husband right here, and he can speak to it as well. He can definitely speak to it, that he wanted his wife to stay at home, and they have a successful marriage, at least from the outside looking in and talking to him and his wife. They have a very successful marriage, and hats off to you guys. I really appreciate you. What's up, Reg? I'm so sorry that I could not remember your name. And I know him before I knew his wife. But yeah, but as I was saying earlier, definitely, I highly recommend you go and take a look at that video where actually I talked to them two, and then I spoke to his wife separately to talk more about the wife school. But they strategic, Reg, if you wouldn't mind, actually, I want to, if I can bring you into the studio, you want to come into the studio for a second and kind of talk a little bit about how you and your wife kind of got into how you were able to get her from the workplace into staying at home. You want to come on? If you don't, I get it, because we're kind of getting towards the end anyway. We're getting ready to end the show, but maybe next time. But yeah, so again, it just needs to be a conversation needs to be had. And I go back to Reggie and Sophia Perryman, where they had a conversation. They both knew, he knew that he wanted his wife to stay at home. She knew she wanted to be a stay-at-home wife, stay-at-home mom, and they worked towards that. It didn't happen overnight, and this was according to both of their testimonies. When me talking to them together, and when I talked to her separately, when she's telling me more and giving me more in-depth information about the wife school, that it didn't happen overnight. It took a little bit of time, but they got there. All right. I'm going to end it here. Again, I appreciate everybody coming on. So I want to give you guys a preview into what we're going to talk about next week. So you have a husband and wife who have been married, let's say, over 20 years. The husband gets sick. I'm gonna leave out some of the juicy details because I want to leave y'all tongues wagging. I want to keep your mouth watering for what the entire before I give you the entire story. But a husband and wife been married for, let's say, over 20 years. And what's up, Tim? A husband and wife have been married for over 20 years. The husband end up getting a debilitating disease that takes him out. The wife leaves him and takes everything. Leaves him. They have real estate. She takes takes everything. Leaves him with one house. Now he's on some form of disability, and I'm leaving out some juicy details. And she takes everything. Leaves him with one of the houses that they had accumulated together. Now, mind you, he's getting money from disability, but that money that he's getting from disability is just enough to pay the rent or the mortgage on the house that he's staying in. So I'm going to leave y'all with that. I'll give you more details, but you have to tune in for next week because I want to get y'all comments and thoughts on that scenario, which we will talk about next week. All right. With that, I'm signing off. Peace. May there be peace between me and you until the next time we see each other again. Deuces. I'm out of here.